Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another CraftySimulations video. Now, it's been a while since I've done a flight simulator review, but we're here with the brand spanking new Flysimware Beechcraft Sierra C24R. I nearly call it a Charlie 24R. I've been reading too many waypoints on NavMap. So yes, this is the brand new C24R. Which is a single-engine general aviation aircraft, and henceforth, therefore, is going to be a bloody good aircraft for this channel. Now, obviously, I know this channel is more about general aviation aircraft, and like I said, I love a general aviation aircraft. I would be normally in Cessnas of the likes, and obviously Cubs and all that kind of stuff, so I do like it when there is a manufacturer that comes out with a new product which isn't a Cessna. I think that's fantastic. I think it's awesome. So, as always, with a brand new product, what we're going to do is delve into what I would call what's in the box. Now, obviously, I know this is a download, so there was no box, but this is what the developer, Flysimware, says is their features for this aircraft. So we have real-world operational. Of course the aircraft is real-world operational. It's flying in the world. Thankfully, I'm not flying it. We have realistic flight dynamics. Okay, so this aircraft, once again, apparently is supposed to be a very realistic. Now, I have only done one flight in this aircraft before, and I was actually quite impressed with it. It was quite good. But I will say, and this is not a negative on this aircraft, but if you have flown a single-engined four-seater, a six-seater or something like that, but a single-engine general aviation aircraft, it's very hard to make them behave differently. The novelty is very small if you start looking at the difference between a single-engine six-seater general aviation aircraft. Okay, so the novelty with this aircraft will be folding undercarriage. Not many aircraft have that, so it goes a little bit faster. I would say that would be, like I say, a difference, and a very good difference as well. So that's what probably makes it a little bit different to, I don't know, a fixed undercarriage Cessna. So we have interactive environment sounds. I don't know what that is. I know the sounds are really, really good on this. The engine sounds, they are fantastic. And talking of which, it's actually been done by a very good creator, because all sounds are produced from Boris Audio Works using the game industry standard WY software. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Boris Audio Works have created standalone packages for various payware aircraft. I don't know whether they've done freeware aircraft, not 100%, but I know they've done payware aircraft in the past. And I believe the last one I tried of his was for the Cirrus SR22, and I was really impressed with that. Like I always say, sounds are very important. If the aircraft looks right, that's good. If the aircraft sounds right, that's when you start to believe you're actually in the aircraft. So these are Boris Audio Works sounds. They are going to be good. So we also have custom-coded world gauges and animations. Okay, so basically we've got custom bits and pieces that move on this aircraft, and the gauges. Talking of which, there is 1,000,001 options on this thing for gauges. Avionics include the Garmin GTX 345, the Garmin GMA 340, there's going to be a lot of letters and numbers in this part, the Garmin GNS 530, the Garmin GTN 750, woohoo, brilliant, the Garmin GTN 750 XI. Okay, so basically this aircraft comes with different repaints, the same repaints with different avionics setups. Okay, so if you want it to be a little bit, you want to have a 530, let's say, you've got the version that has the 530. Don't know why you'd want a 530, I don't personally like it, but hey, but if you're more likely to like the 750, you've got options for the GTN 750 and the GTN 750 XI, which are different. So if you look in the aircraft list of repaints, there's going to be 4 or 5 repaints that are the same repaint, but they're different because of the avionics. So again, I like this because it adds options. There's 3 different ways a developer can create an aircraft like this with options. They could either not create options at all and just create it, here you go, that's what we put in it, that's it. They can then create an aircraft where you go in the cockpit and click on a tablet, let's say, and you can start swapping bits and pieces around on the fly. Or you can do it via the repaint option, as I call it, so that you go into, when you're selecting the aircraft, and you have 4 different aircraft all on the same repaint, all on the same registration, but the difference is the avionics. So when you load that aircraft in, you get that avionics. You can't swap it on the fly. So it's good. I do like options. Options are good. So we also have integrated Navigraph G3X plugin. And more avionics. Avionics. What's wrong with needles? Dials. Brilliant thing. Includes a high-quality pilot and co-pilot. I'm fairly certain that is a standard a standard pilot. I don't know. Maybe there might be an option in the tablet. I will show you the tablet in a minute. Like I say, I only flew it once already. I know where the tablet is. I never really clicked on it. So we also have windshield rain effects. Now, this is something I noticed this simulator has infinitely better than, let's say, FSX. FSX's rain effects, pants. Good for the time, pants when compared to this. But the rain effects on the glass is just fantastic, absolutely awesome. I think it's some of the best, and this one apparently has even better. So again, I've not flown it in the rain, we'll see. Exterior icing effects. Okay, so the icing will build up on the parts of the plane. I don't think we're going to see anything. I'm not 100%. Again, I didn't fly it in the cold icy conditions. But you'd expect icing to form on the wings, on the prop blades, you know, on the exterior of the engine there. I don't know if we got de-icing gear. See, I don't know. So that's obviously a padding for where you stand. But de-icing is normally a black strip that runs down the leading edge of a wing. And I can't see it on the prop blades either, if I'm honest, because there'll be a little black strip put on the outside of the blade that goes into wind. Again, we don't seem to have that, so it might be a case of you're going to get the negative effects of flying into icing or cold temperatures. Again, it's a challenge. Parking mode chocks, tie down engine plugs and covers. Okay, so we can set this aircraft up to have various bits and pieces exposed, showing. Again, it's nice, but obviously that's not really going to be useful for you when you fly, because you don't want your tie downs on. We also have save state, and part modes and fuel units. Again, these are the things that change with the tablet. I will go into that in a minute. Talking the tablet, here it is. Tablet includes checklist, page save state options, fuel page, payload page, a lot of pages, a weather page, and guess what? A configuration page. So again, I'll go through the tablet in a minute. It's not the most advanced tablet in the world, but it functions just fine. Okay, so we also have dedicated aircraft here in the sim. These are classed as paint themes. Which one are we flying? I don't know where the registration is on that thing. I know it's Flysimware's own aircraft, so it probably doesn't exist in reality. But for you boffins out there who know your registrations and where they come from, yes, once again, this aircraft has multiple aircraft that come from different ends of the world. So we have 4 X-Ray Delta Zulu Mike, Golf Mike Tango Tango, Charlie Foxtrot Bravo Oscar Charlie, Delta Echo India Mike Bravo, Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey 3 Delta Romeo. This is good. My phonetic alphabet is going to be amazing. Golf Bravo Yankee Delta Golf from the UK. Woohoo, we're there. Then we have from the Americans, November 6715 Sierra, November 6992 Romeo, November 18841, and November 24017. So we do have some repaints, and like I say, each of these repaints is split up into 4 or 5, I think it is, aircrafts with the different avionics. So yeah, that's what the developer Flysimware says about their aircraft, and I've got to say, it's a beauty. She definitely looks very, very nice. I keep saying this, but we're on to something with Flight Simulator now. Developers are coming up with some absolutely stonkingly beautiful aircraft. If we ignore the repaint, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist in reality, you know, it's a very, very good aircraft. Whichever way you look at The way the sun catches, I mean, like this, we have gruft, we have dirt, we have age on this aircraft. I like that. It shows an aircraft to be a little bit more realistic. Squeaky clean aircraft only ever is squeaky clean when it came out of the factory. And that only happens once. And we haven't got the factory here for this aircraft. So, you know, she looks absolutely fantastic. Reflections are absolutely spot on, no matter where you look at this aircraft. Really is absolutely fantastic. So that's the external side of this aircraft. Let's have a look what it's like on the inside. So, here we are. Welcome to the interior of the C24R. Now, I will say from the get-go, I don't like screens in some aircraft. They work well in, let's say, the Diamond Twin Star. They're fantastic in that because the Twin Star is an aircraft of today. I expect aircraft of today, no matter what they are, I expect them to come out with screens and Garmin dials and all that kind of stuff. I expect that. It's fantastic. It's awesome. I don't think this aircraft, is particularly new. And it just looks a tad odd to have these 4 screens. You have a GTN 750 here. That's one of the options I'm running because I like 750s. 750s are awesome. But yeah, I don't know. It looks a bit weird. It looks like a 2-stage cockpit. So you've got the upper section here, which is these screens. Obviously, the little your main pilot screen, your PFD, your navigations on your GTN 750. This is another option for the GTN 750. That will be your transponder. I don't know which version it is. It's a Garmin. I know that. But I don't know which version it is. That's one of their new Garmin screen things, which I think is your artificial horizon, I do believe. And that's, you know, I mean, it covers your basics. It covers more than your basics. It covers your flight, your navigation, and your planning. And also, sorry, I forgot there's an autopilot down here, which, again, perfectly fantastic, awesome. Again, the aircraft of this age, I would like to have dials. I'd like Steam. What's wrong with Steam? And I don't mean the game's seller. We do have these rather nice polished white Beechcraft style yokes, which are fantastic because it's a Beechcraft aircraft, you fool. But yes, underneath here on what I call the second stage or lower stage of the cockpit, we go back to the more traditional toggle switches and a few dials and a few bits. It looks a little bit confusing, but you know, like I said earlier at the start of the video, if you've flown a single-engined general aviation aircraft, it's not difficult to understand these things. They are quite simple. It's just working out where all the buttons are, because buttons in this aircraft will be in a different place than a different aircraft. If we move down to the lowest section, we have, what do we have here? Also carb heat. Sorry, cabin air. Cabin air. Couldn't get my teeth around that one. A few other things, nothing really that much in there. We do have your fuel tank down the usual place at the bottom. That's fine. So yeah, I mean, going through the instrumentation, we've got our lighting section here. So we've got our landing lights, navigational lights. So your landing lights are split into 2. So up it will be landing lights on, bottom is taxi lights on, and middle is off. Navigation is up, and off is obviously down. Next one is your rotating beacon would be just the rotating beacon is what's up, and if you go down, it's rotating beacon and strobe. Obviously, we don't use strobe unless we're on the runway. Then we're going over to the pitot heat, the electronic trim. I don't know if that's making the squeaky noise. I can't work it out. I can keep hearing this squeaky noise. It might be the electronic trim. So then we move on to the battery and alternator on. So we've got battery and alternator there. We have our fuel boost. We have our avionics. And we have our parking brake, which is the lever there. Undercarriage is obviously here. Obviously, when that's lit up, there'll be obviously green lights and a red light for up. Flaps are here. Stop moving. Thank you. I think it's that's moving. A little bit of a sensitive mixture lever by the look of it. Flaps are there. Flap indicator is there. Fuses. Oh, we do have clickable fuses. Again, not a deal breaker if an aircraft does not come with fuses that are clickable, but it is adding to a realism, and I like realism. So let's put that back before I forget it. Moving on to one of the things I do like to check on, the state of the leather seats. And I think the seats need cleaning. If I'm honest, the seats really do need cleaning. They're filthy. But that shows the aircraft has some age to it. So I like it. An aircraft with age on it, good quality leather seating, good quality how they create it in the flight simulator. So very, very good. What I will say is it doesn't quite set up with the, you know, the screens over here, but, you know, that is what it is. We've got some nice vinyl sun visors, which are irritating, and I use them only once just to prove they work, and that's about it. What we got here, so we're a four-seater with space in the back for cargo and luggage. We have a cat flap, and we do have the traditional door with sound effects. Not bad sound effects, but sound effects nevertheless. So, yes, we shall move on to the location for the tablet, which did take me a while to figure out where it was, because I was looking for it in the door cards here, where the checklist is, but that's not clickable. I thought it was going to be down there. It's not. It's this thing here. Click on that, you get to get the tablet up. So moving over to this, we have, yeah, the first screen. So we can have our chocks, our left tie down, right tie down. Shut up, this thing's squeaking, it's driving me nuts. Will you shut up? I'm going to have an argument contest with this mixture. So yeah, so we have our equipment section. So we have our chocks, left and right tie down, tail covers, top covers, cowl covers, and pitot covers. So we can just put them on and make the aircraft look like it's been sat like, oh, I don't know, I can't see. There was an aircraft over there somewhere that has a cover on. Equipment over here. So we have the GPUs, the ground power unit. Can we have that on, please? Someone started the lawnmower. Oh yeah, that's my ground power unit. Where is it? Where is the little... Oh, she's over there. Why couldn't I see that? Oh, I can see it if I twist my neck around far enough. So yeah, so I'll have that on because we're going to need that. So we can open the upper cowling, the lower cowling, the fuel cap left, fuel cap right, oil cover cap, and headset filter. So we can have the filter put on, which I'm not sure. I think you're supposed to click on one of these and it dampens the sound off it. Yeah. Oh, that's how it works. Click on that, it disappears. Yeah, so we don't need that. So we have doors, so with the pilot, co-pilot and rear, and we have the overhead light. I don't need that on, thank you very much. And cabin light and map light. That requires the overhead light. So then we have the weather, so we have our window action, ambient temperature, 50 degrees. Tad warm. Obviously a wind in direction. We then have we can put our people and our luggage in here to simulate weight. We can put our fuel into there. We can have a pre-flight checklist and run down for our pre-flight all the way through to securing the airplane. That would involve turning the computer off, I guess. And then we have this, which is our options for tablet sounds, our units, our fuel and weight, our sun visor types. It's just basically the options to make the aircraft look a little bit smarter. So if we don't want that, just click on that even, and it disappears. You still have the mount there, but it does disappear. So we're at my favourite place, which would be Wickenby in Lincolnshire, and we'll take this aircraft up. We're going to fly over towards Scampton, and we're going to see how this aircraft handles. So see you in the next part of this video when I come to starting the aircraft. Hello everybody and welcome back to the next part of the video. Now normally I don't split the videos, but I had to on this one because I just realised that my throttle settings were set up for the twin engine Diamond DA42, because I've literally just recorded that video, so I had to switch back to my single engine setup. So nothing else has changed. The GPU is running in the background, our cat flap is still open even. So one thing I do want to say, you may be wanting to know where your fuel tank gauges are, and you'll think, oh, that's one there, and you'll think that's both tanks. It isn't. That is the right wing tank. The left wing tank is under here, and you'll be thinking, well, you've got a bleeding keyring even that says Sierra on there. If you actually click on the leather tab, it gets rid of it. So you do have 2 fuel tanks. Drove me nuts as well, so you won't be the first people to get that one a little bit confusing. So anyway, so we'll have battery coming on, fuel system is on both tanks, that's fine. Actually, we'll leave that off. Rotating beacon is on, clear that. It's been so long since I used a different navigational system. Right, so that we'll have alternator now coming on. Electronic trim is going to come on. Right, okay, so mixture is set to full, and we'll put the throttle at full, and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Give it 5 seconds of that. Should prime the engine. Turn that back on again, and we do need it. Set it for 1/2 inch. Let's turn TrackIR on. Clear on the left, clear on the right. Max coming through to both. Start turning on the navigational systems, and we can shut the cat flap. If I can find the click spot for it. So we are about 1,000, that will do nicely. Transponder is already on 7,000, and I like to squawk altitude. That's back. We'll set that up for map. We'll set that one up for terrain, even though it's Lincolnshire, it's flat. So amps are good. We'll have the navigation lights on as well. Oil temperatures is coming up into the green. Oil pressure is coming up into the green. Fuel tanks are reading good. Flaps down to 1 stage, won't need any more than that. What I will say is I have a button set up on my Warthog Thrustmaster throttle unit for the flaps, and if I alter it, you can hear the flaps are moving, yet the lever here doesn't actually alter. So I don't know whether that's an issue, I don't know whether that's going to be fixed, but yeah, if you're expecting that to move, it doesn't. I read there is some options. Can we have 1 stage, please? Thank you very much. There is options for setting up if you're using what is it, SPAD Next, because there's different ways. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I don't need to pay too much attention to that because obviously I've got buttons for that. So let's put that back on again, and we shall have no, we won't have that on. We'll blind people. Thank you. We'll have nav lights on, please. There, we'll have control check. Oh, this is another weird thing I noticed. I don't know whether this is the actual, related to the real aircraft, but a lot of TrackIR off. As you push the column forward, obviously it goes so far. Now, let's just say, for instance, you want to push that all the way. Now, I'm pushing forward on my, again, the Warthog stick, and I get to as far as the stick will go. That is as far as my stick will go, yet you can see that it's not as far forward as it should be. The column here there's still travel space. So I don't know if that's correct or not, and therefore could restrict your climb and descent. Same really, well, when you pull the stick back, this is another different thing that happens. You pull it back, everything's normal, pull it back, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then the flight column comes up. Again, is this normal? Is there anyone here that flies this aircraft in reality who can actually confirm that is correct? Because I think it's a little bit weird. I could be wrong. That's better. Get that all set up. So let's get out of here. I have noticed there is some frame rate stutters with this aircraft. It also has been noticed on some other people that have reviewed this. I noticed because I watched a few, obviously, Flight Simulator related videos on YouTube, and there was somebody else reviewing this, and he did say the same thing. There is stutters every now and again. Now, my system can run Flight Simulator 2020 absolutely fine. and I know it can run Wickenby absolutely fine. There is never really any stutters unless the flight simulators, the computers decided to do something in the background, which is bloody rude and bloody annoying. But yeah, I have noticed there is some stutters every now and again. I don't know whether it's... I'm hoping it's just this aircraft. It has been noted before from other reviewers, so I'm going to say it's the aircraft. So we are now sat at the runway. We'll have our fuel bump coming on. Landing lights are now selected on. Pitot heat is coming on. Electronic trim is on. Fuel is good. T's and P's are good. Not going to set a flight route up. We don't need to. We're going to pull that out a little bit as we head to Scampton's. Not far away, in fact Scampton's just there, so it is a very quick flight, but it will give you, we'll have throw the aircraft around a little bit, obviously within rules of general aviation. So mixture is now full, so let's roll out to the runway. Just listen to the sounds for a minute. There's rattling. I like that. It adds a little bit of depth of reality to the aircraft. Again, the sounds were created by Boris Audio Works, and he does some fantastic job with his previous work. So anyway, flaps are one stage. Mixture is full. Pop pitch is fully open. Fine. It's full up. Anyway, my brain cells started to die. Landing lights are on. Nav lights are on. Rotating beacon is on. We shall now have rotating beacon and strobe lighting on. Electric trim is on. Pitot is on. Fuel boost is on. Now let's run it up. Very good sounds. Very, very good sounds. There's 50, there's 60, here's the hump. So we didn't get airborne at the hump, but we got airborne eventually. Tap the brakes, gears coming up. There's 106 knots and slowly increasing. We'll do our usual flight over Wickenby. Start to retrim the aircraft out. So the frame rates have got a little bit better. There is a few spikes every now and again. Again, I do believe it's related to this aircraft. I'm not 100%. I haven't changed anything else in the aircraft, but in the simulator. But this aircraft seems to just have a few frame rate lags every now and again. So just coming off this aircraft as well, if you watched my part 2 of the UK tour, you'll hear me talking about a new program I have running in this flight sim, and it is Rex Atmos. It is a game changer in my eyes as to what the flight simulator can look like, because I've run Rex Accu Season for quite a while now, and that's really good. It's really good. Rex Atmos just makes it look so much better, and that's what I'm running at the moment as well. Everything looks just a lot clearer. Well, a lot clearer, a lot more realistic, I should say. So performance-wise, it looks like we yellow line at about 142. So it's about the average performance for a single-engined aircraft. Currently flying at about 116. Again, there's just a few frame rates that just seem to take you out of the illusion of being in a flight simulator. Very irritating. I've done this flight now for absolutely, well, for a long time, and I know that my simulator can handle this quite easily. One thing as well to note, if you do purchase an aircraft, there is simulated battery drain. Now at the moment it's not a problem, the aircraft's running quite happily, but if you're taxiing, you do have to have quite a high power setting, or else you will get a warning in your Garmin unit there that will say that you are not, the alternator's not developing enough power for the aircraft. And like I say, the battery is it is modelled. I don't know whether you can actually physically completely drain the battery, I'm not 100%, but you will get the warnings up. So here we are at Scampton. I can't remember who made this scenery. I'm sure it was Payware. Yeah, it is Payware. I'm trying to rack my brain, so I got so much scenery in this flight sim, it's unreal. But yeah, there is another scenery I think out there that details Scampton. So I've got a very long runway here at Scampton. Obviously designed for much bigger aircraft, much heavier aircraft than this C24. So one of the things you also need to note on the approach to Scampton is that hill. If you do make a low approach, you'll be heading towards that hill at a fair rate of knots. I'm just going to start our descent. We're going to make a rapid descent. We're going to make a turn around here. So we shall have landing lights on, the fuel boost is coming on. 102 knots. Flaps one stage. And confirmed. Gear coming down. And 3 green. flaps going down second stage. Do you believe that's 20 degrees down? Start to pull the nose back, start to pull the throttle back. Touchdown. Again, very good sounds. Not just the engine sounds is what you're listening for. You want to hear some rattling. It's an old aircraft, so I'd expect rattling and squeaks and all that nature. I would expect some squeaky brakes as well, but I haven't got them. So we are going to turn around because the runway here is, like I say, extremely long, so we're just going to backtrack. So, taxi lights on, please, thanking you. And fuel boost can come off now. P2E can come off. Perhaps I'm attracted. But again, getting some frame rate jutters here, especially when I start to move the view a little bit with the TrackIR, so I'm fairly certain it's this aircraft, unfortunately. It is a shame. I have got the latest version of the C24, and it's been the same on the first version, and it's the same on this version. So it is kind of annoying. I'm not going to slate Flysimware for it too much. Hopefully, it's something they can look at in the future. So we're just going to swing us around here and park ourselves. I know there's some parking people over there, but I'm not going to go near them. I will say the performance on the ground is really, really good. Turning circle is absolutely tight. So there we are. Oh. I can just reach around to get the button. Good sounds. Definitely good sounds. So let's just get that for a minute. Navigation lights are off. Electric trim is off. That into middle. That into middle. That's correct. That's correct. Alternator is now off. Avionics are now off. Leaves are pulled back. Mags are slated off, and batteries now going off. So there we go. The Flysimware C24. How would I rate this aircraft? Well, sounds are really, really good. I am really impressed even with the sounds of this aircraft. I think across the whole range, startup, button clicking, operational of aircraft, flying the aircraft, the bumps when you land, just the background sounds of things squeaking, rattling and all that, I like that immensely. Like I say, sounds are very important to an aircraft here on Flight Simulator. Looks wise, again, absolutely epic. This aircraft looks, externally speaking, absolutely fantastic. Really does. Internally speaking, again, the looks are really good. I will say I'm happy with the options for the avionics packages you can put in it. Put into the aircraft. I like a little bit of difference here and there. What I would say the biggest negative, and it's by a long way, the FPS performance. I mean, now, you know, from the outside, everything runs just exactly how I expect it. I'm sorry if I made anyone feel dizzy doing that, but it's absolutely fine. It doesn't make an issue. But when I'm inside, something in here makes the frame rate just a little bit... I mean, it's all right now. There's a few little hiccups every now and again when you move the view. So I don't know what it is that's causing it. I hope, like I say, I hope and pray that Flysimware change this. We'll find out what the issue is. I'm hoping it's not a flight simulator issue. I think it is restricted to this aircraft. I don't really have too many other issues with the aircraft on the sim at the moment. But like I say, I hope Flysimware will look at this and try and change something, because other than that, it is a fantastic aircraft, and it's not a Cessna, and it's not a Piper, it's a Beechcraft, and Beechcraft are fantastic aircraft. So, if you've got any questions or comments or observations about this video or this aircraft, please bang them below. I will answer any questions or reply to any comments that you put down there, and I will see you guys and girls in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very soon.